What's good? God is good. I'm J.DIDIT, your host to Thursday Therapies. This is the podcast for all creatives, rappers, artists, poets, activists, and Sacramento community therapy discussion. Today I have Josh Jorin, a local artist from Sacramento. He is the co-founder of Freestyle Fridays and CitySound Mulit-Media studio. He is focused on creating relatable art for hustlers and support the artist's growth and community development. He co-hosts Off the Ground Work podcast. His mission is to provide a platform for artists to share their creative journeys and showcase their hard work behind their craft. With a strong belief in community and the power of hard work, Jorin's dedicated to Sac's music scene and his passion for artist development.
Yeah, that's it.
What's good?
That's the mouthful. What's up?
Good? Welcome to Thursday Therapies. Finally,
Yeah,
we've been talking about getting you on here.
Yeah.
I have a lot of people coming up to me. I'm like, I gotta get the CitySound guys
Come
over
on,
here.
love you more.
Know.
Hell yeah,
So,
hell yeah.
how are you doing? How's your week going?
Going really good, blessed, working. A lot of video work last week, so doing some edits and, cleaning up some stuff from last week. So doing some good stuff. What are we at here? Monday, yeah. Yeah, so we're at Monday. On to a fresh one,
Days
yeah.
are starting to run into each other.
Yeah,
on to real fast. It's warm outside. People's going
I know.
really...
I got the hoodie on. I was outside. I was like, oh, man, I might not need this later. Yeah, but good.
I love it. Okay, so as you know, this is Thursday Therapies. It's a discussion on mental health. I want to ask you some questions, get your outlook on it, and hopefully just bring more awareness to the Sacramento community on mental health. And hope everybody will check their mental health.
Come on.
Yep.
I'll be watching your stories. I love it.
I love it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So when did you become aware of mental health, and how old were you?
I was probably 8 or 9 years old. Somebody that was introduced into my life pretty early in my childhood ended up having a pretty big battle with like addiction. So that was just I was pretty young when I first saw it. I didn't really fully understand what was going on, but that kind of trickled out into seeing a whole bunch of things happen within the family. So just like just dysfunctional shit that you see happen, you know what I mean, and probably most family homes. Yeah, right. So I just happened to get it at that age, and seeing how people coped with it and dealt with it. My mom later went into like drug counseling, so that was like her profession for a long time, which a lot of that is combating first like the reason that you're using or that you're doing shit, which a lot of times is aligning with mental health and things of that nature. So, but yeah, that was probably about that. And then you already know, and it hasn't stopped since then. You just hit the ground running.
Right.
Yeah.
Your eyes become wide open to all
peeled
the
back
dysfunctions of the world, and
absolutely. You realize we're all not that. We're all really not that different.
We're
come
not,
to recognize,
not at all.
Yeah,
I always say, like, mental health doesn't really discriminate. It doesn't discriminate at all. Race, ethnicity, culture,
sure.
background, class, definitely age. It does not discriminate. So, around 8 or 9 is probably when I really am like, this shit is what's going on. Like, is this really supposed to be happening?
Yeah.
Something's wrong, right?
And now that we're saying it out loud, you're right. Like 8 or 9 is probably around the age though when you first like really start to form memories. I mean, I know you remember stuff before that, but that's about when you start to like be able to kind of articulate better and understand a little bit better. So
a little bit better.
Yeah,
you
definitely
still
not.
Don't understand what the fuck's going on.
No. But I feel like you feel like, and you can see. Tell me if you resonate with this. But I know when I was like younger, like before that, my parents had. My parents ended up getting divorced in 2002, and they tried and had a whole bunch of other shit going on leading up to that. But I remember like feeling something, but I can't really remember the memories. You know what I mean? Not now at 30 years old. Maybe I did at like 15 and stuff. But but I know there was definitely a dysfunction prior to that. Yeah. I just wasn't able to like know what was going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
So, how did your family handle mental health? Like, you kind of shared a little bit about your mom. Yeah,
mom's the big driver behind it. So just like a quick little background, my mom is, so I'm half white, half Mexican. That's the easiest way for me to put it. I always, you good. So half white, half Mexican. I'll be like, my mom's my white side, my pop's my Mexican side, right? So as much as that was dope to have those two different experiences, it's like they're very much so different experiences. So my mom is very much like Western medicine. If you feel like there's something that's wrong with you that you're facing, like whether that's like anxiety or like depression or like these different things that can really fuck with somebody and like their mental state and like their effectiveness as a person in society because they're being held down by these like super heavy weights. Right. She's like, those things should be like talked about and discussed, and we should figure out how to like treat them. You know what I mean? Whether it's through like medicine or if it's through like other things like therapy or you know what I mean, things like that. Where my pops is like, I don't even think I've had a conversation with him about anything even in that realm of things. You know what I mean? Just because like, I don't know, I don't want to say like again, I don't want to speak for all Mexican households, but for whatever reason,
Right.
I didn't hear that on that side of things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
never heard my
Right.
pops talking about, you know, if you feel sad, like talk to me about it. You know what I mean? And I don't
Right.
think it was like malicious.
Not
It's
at
just
all.
it was just something that he just wasn't aware of, or something that he wasn't brought up doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right, and a lot of families are like that, and it's just, you know, either one family member is or one family member isn't, or some people are just oblivious and they just don't know. They
Right.
really just, you know, don't know how to handle it, what to do with it, you know. And a lot of cultures are like, you need to suck it up, and a lot of
Yeah, hell yeah.
even with males, it's just like,
hell yeah.
you gotta, put your boots on and just suck it up.
Yep.
And
My pops always used to tell me growing up, things got to run their cycle, and it's fucked up because it makes sense, but it's also kind of a fucked up thing to have in your head. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
basically he was like, if you have a headache, you don't need to take aspirin. Like, you probably should have drank more water, like done these things, and like that's why that's happening. So just do that, and then it'll run its cycle and go away. Like if you get a cold, like just let it. It's true, but at the same time, like, but let me take a Dayquil though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sick. You know what I mean? Like they came up with this shit so that I could like get better. You know what I mean? And not feel like shit.
Or ease the pain
Right,
that you're in at the moment.
right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
things
yeah.
in that there. So yeah, very very interesting contrast that I had, especially after mom went to like medical school, or not medical school, whatever you got to do, college to go be a nurse. Now she's
Right.
nursing, so she was like hair salon person, drug counselor, nurse. So that's kind of
she's
like
a
her.
hustler.
Yeah, she a hustler for
Good.
sure. Yeah, you guys would actually. I think you guys would really enjoy each other's company.
Nice.
She's cool. She's gonna have like a good 20 on you probably at least. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You
But
never
she,
know.
yeah. Shout out my moms. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
But yeah, so family deals with it a little bit different, you know what I mean, on both sides.
Yeah.
Interesting, because stuff like this will make me, I like go tell my dad, like, oh yeah, I was asked today, and I was like, we never really talked about this shit, and kind of see what his view on it is, because I really don't know. I got no idea if I ask my pops, yeah.
But you feel comfortable to go to talk to him though? Like,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Now you feel comfortable?
Yeah, hell
Like,
yeah.
I mean, the conversation doesn't go anywhere, or you just, it is what it is?
Yeah, I think bro has always had like a open door policy, so even when we weren't like super close, and
That's dope.
you know what I mean. I grew up more like with my mom growing
Yeah,
up, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying. But
yeah.
bro's always been doing his thing and been around and shit, and always supported me in every way he could, you know what I mean. So yeah, hell yeah, shout out.
No,
Pops,
that's
you know
what's up. That's what's up. So, did you ever have to witness any mental health disparities in your home or in the community, like fucked up shit happening?
Yeah, for sure. I think that anytime you spend enough time in any community, you're going to see that kind of disparity happen at some level. So, we've been doing Freestyle Friday since 2019, right? So I'm just going to kind of go to the community stuff because I feel like I kind of touched a lot on the family. But
Sure.
2019, we started Freestyle Fridays, and we've seen a lot of shit, I was really good friends with somebody who took their own life, you know what I'm saying? And he was like an artist that came to Freestyle Fridays really early on, like really early supporter, really dope individual, you know what I'm saying? And seeing that type of shit, and then kind of feeling the weight a little bit of like, like are we not doing our jobs by creating this space, but not like
Noticing.
yeah, exactly, and like not maybe being able to I don't want to say like fix those things, but like be able to approach it or discuss it, you know what I mean? But it's a rap event, it's a hip hop event, like you said. It was like, oh no, like we try to like leave all your regular life shit outside and put it in your music and come share it that way and shit. But but yeah, so that was a little bit heavy, and I think we're still learning as a community very much so, and since then I've seen a lot of things similar in that nature of things like that, or people running into their drug addictions or their drug problems, or yeah, just a whole bunch of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it takes a village. I think it takes a community and to be able to push through those things. But we see it happen, and we push on, and there's more days and there's more shit that we're able to create and try to create life out of. And but yeah, that shit, and I know we kind of touched on it earlier at the podcast, but I feel like that shit's really like nonstop. Like, you get older and older, and fucking, I think we're probably closer in age than a lot of like the younger kids that normally come to the studio and shit. And so it's like, yeah, we kind of, we see it. Even my fiance is 4 years younger than me, right? And shit's gonna make me even start tearing up. But she's at a point where she's just now starting to experience like death in a really real way. You know what I mean? Like things very close to her happen. She's what, 27 years old, right? 27 years old, and it's shitty because I remember that part of life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I
takes a
remember
toll.
I remember like the loss of innocence, like the loss of like, oh, like none of this shit's forever. Like, everything is at like the just right at the tip of being able to just be gone. So shout out her, shout out Soph.
That's a late age though. I mean,
late
I've been
and
dealing with death for a long time.
and I talked to her about that.
It's just like, wow, how, you
Yeah,
know.
she was blessed. You know, she has a really good family, and you know, I don't think it was a situation where it was just like really over sheltering. I think it was a situation to where she just was blessed, and just a lot of her, you know, most of her grandparents lived, you know, mostly full lives, and you know,
That's
you know,
beautiful.
unfortunately, you know, her aunt just passed away just recently, you know,
That's
and
tough.
and was really underage, and rest in peace her soul, and yeah, so it's just very interesting to see kind of it kind of approach different communities, different people. People are all in different kind of stages of grief. They're all kind of, you know, everybody's dealing with something at some level, you know, whether you're on the, you know, 30 years removed from the trauma or fucking 30 days, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's yeah.
It hits everybody differently.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
And this shit don't go away. I heard somebody recently say like you don't grow like out of grief or like through grief, like you grow around it.
Right.
Like it's always
It's
there,
It's
and you just kind
there.
of like, you know,
Right.
you like fix your way around it. So and I think that all aligns really with people's mental health. You know, I think it's not so much that things are happening, like things are happening to everybody. It's how we react to it, and not even so much like outwardly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, a lot of times like
So how
internally.
does it make you feel? How does it make you feel to have to see those disparities? Like you said,
It's fucked up.
Because
Yeah.
you're a co-owner
Yeah.
of here, and you see a lot of people come through here, and that has to take a toll on your own mental health. How does it
Definitely.
make you feel?
Yeah. It's upsetting, right? And it's almost like I feel like if you talk to somebody, right? I'm from a suburban neighborhood. I'm from fucking El Grove, California. You know, I spent time living all through the city and shit. But for the most part, you know, I'm a suburban kid. Is where it started at. So there's people that had some real like fucked up shit going on, like at a real young age already. That I, you know, didn't have to experience that shit. And so you know, I think people become like kind of numb to it in their own way, and even if that's a way with coping with it. And so that's what I
100%.
experienced that late with the business owner, with the community movement, because what I realized quickly was like when those things happen is whether or not we liked it. And I say we because I wholeheartedly don't believe it's just me
Right.
as I, but the whole kind of front of the movement is people look to you
Right.
for like, well, now what?
Now what? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and you
that's a
can't,
heavy thing to
yeah,
carry, too.
yeah. And so you can't like just fucking crumble,
Right.
even if you want to.
Right.
You know what I
gotta
mean?
hold your composure at all
Yeah,
costs.
hell yeah. You can crumble at the house.
Right.
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Right,
And again, shout out my fiance, because if anybody sees
Give
the
her
crumbling,
hugs, give
you know
her
what I'm
love.
saying? Yeah, if
Oh,
anybody sees
yes.
the crumbling, it's her. But
Right.
but yeah, you know, you gotta put that fucking that game face on like a good fucking captain or like a good fucking coach or fucking, you know, somebody that's like, you know, I know that this is, it feels like the end of the world,
Right.
but it's not.
Right.
And if there's still work to do, where, you know, spiritual or mental or physical or whatever it is that your journey needs you to do, you know, if there's
Right.
still work to do, then come on, we gotta,
Right.
you know, that
Right.
that person or that entity or that whatever it is, like they would want you
Right.
to continue on. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So
But we're still human, you know. We're
Fuck.
strong. We're strong, hustling, you know.
But
we're out here doing our damn thing, but
that
we're
shit
still
hurt.
human.
That shit hurt. Yeah.
still
That
human.
shit'll fuck you up.
But yeah, like you said, we gotta hold our composure at all costs. You know, just a lot of people, you know, say that with me. It's just like they don't ever see me, you know, down, or they would never know. But I've been through a lot of shit, like in my life. I done seen so much shit in my life.
I hear it in your
And
poetry.
it's like,
You know what I'm saying?
you know, just because I look like this on the outside doesn't mean that I don't struggle on the inside. You know, and people that are, you know, in higher positions like you, a business owner, you know, out here for the community, having to hold your composure at all times. You know, there's still that young kid on the inside, you know, that you have to take care of.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
And there's lapses, right?
Yeah.
As you're saying that, it's funny because I'm like, you know, there was a time in 2021 when we were at the Citrus Heights location when we very first opened up. But I specifically remember a team meeting, and there was like a little bit of a falling out, and there was, you know, there was somebody that was being discussed in the team, and it ended up blowing up. And I remember like I ended up fucking like I just fell apart, and I fucking like punched the fuck out the wall. Sorry for cussing.
But you're human.
But yeah,
punched.
cool. Yeah, I punched the fuck out the wall, and then you know, get to chirping and fucking walk out, get in my car, and I fucking smash off. And that's one of the 2 times I've ever like just left the business. You know what I mean? When it comes to I mean, I've lost way more times, but when it comes to front facing to the public and like, you know, being in front of people and just like losing it, and I realized in both of those moments how detrimental it was to the whole team, to the whole movement.
It's a learning lesson, though.
Yeah,
that's
it was.
the whole thing.
It
like,
was.
if you don't keep going around doing that shit every time there's a meeting, but
Yeah.
learn from your
learn from it.
that.
And I wasn't wrong in the
That takes
feeling.
strength.
Hell yeah, I wasn't wrong in the feeling. I was wrong in how I expressed it, and then you learn that shit, and then it's like, okay, you know, it's like someone sends me a text message that gets me mad. You know, I used to respond to it immediately. Now, like, you take, you know, 20 or 30 minutes or 2 hours, however long you need.
2 weeks.
Yeah, you take how long you need
However
to feel like you're not going to emotionally respond.
Right.
So you can send them something that's like actually from a place that makes sense, and that's not. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I can't always do it. Like I said, sometimes I get to
off at the mouth. That's why somebody call me bad mouth bitch.
Yeah. It'll go.
Instantly it goes, but it's just like, that's growth. That's power.
Yeah. We're working on it. I don't want to sound perfect for sure, because we're working on it. But these are definitely the principles that I'm trying to. I'm trying to definitely nail those things down. That's definitely how I'm trying to deal with this. So. Yeah, it's shitty when you see it in the community, though. Just to wrap it back to your question, it's definitely shitty when you see people have to deal with things, especially when they're not used to dealing with shit like that.
Right.
It's fucked up.
No,
So you see shit like that.
For them.
Hell yeah. And you can't do nothing.
Right.
And you can't do nothing. You could just be there. Yeah.
That's
but they've got to go through it. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah. No. Thank you. So do you feel like the world's understanding on mental health has changed since you first became aware of mental health?
The world's mine. I'm not really sure where it all switched and switched up, but yeah, I used to be really anti, like anti-depression medication, or like anti-anxiety. I used to be really anti that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it comes from, like I said, from my pop side of the family, and like seeing that part of it. But the older I got and like the more I experienced with that shit, I like kind of understood. So I feel like I may have had a skewed view at the beginning, because at the beginning it was very much so like, big pharma is like pushing all these things, and like it's all like an agenda and like all this. And I think it's still worth the discussion. You know what I mean? Because I think there's a lot of money being made anytime that there's like this much capital involved with the healing of people.
Right,
you know what I mean? It gets a little like you want to look at it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think I have a better understanding now, and I think the world might have had it right earlier before me, which is like, oh yeah, no, this shit is real. It's been real. We just didn't know what it was or what to call it, you know what I mean, or how to diagnose it, like all these different things, and I think that
everybody was just crazy.
Yeah, you know what I mean, and right. I mean, they're fucking killing people for being crazy back in the day, right? You come out and you fucking look different, and you acting right, so shit like that is fucking crazy, and yeah, so I feel like the world, I don't want to say like they definitely got it now, because again, anytime I had my my whole little thing with Big Pharma, I don't want to get too deep into that, but I've got my own little whatever you would call that with them, but yeah, I think that at the end of it, though, I think that it's rooted in like, people have things that are in their brain that are like chemical imbalances, and that can be like treated with things, and if that's
absolutely.
like scientifically on paperwork, like that shit goes, like, I don't want to be the person anymore that's like, nah, fucking drink water and go exercise, and I think different things work for different people. So, I got into benzodiazepines, which if anybody's familiar with my journey, you know that about me from fucking like 21 to like 25, just like super high off fucking pharmaceutical pills. But I didn't have anxiety, you know what I'm saying? So that was a total misuse of medication.
That could have, it could have been your way of coping. Through hard situations. I self-medicated with a whole lot of shit.
A whole lot of shit. Hell yeah.
So that's our way of surviving, honestly,
sure.
Because
100.
we just don't know no better.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know any better, and that's what we learn in the streets, and that's what we run to.
Yep, 100.
We don't want Big Pharma or anybody else to control us, so then we go and take it upon ourselves.
We got it.
To medicate ourselves from the street pharmacists.
Yeah,
so,
you talking that shit? It's real.
Yeah, for sure. So, do you believe in seeking outside support or therapy?
Yeah, my mom, again, shout out moms. It's funny, mental health conversation. Mom's is one of the biggest people, like I was saying. Pops didn't really talk about it, but when it comes to mom, like shit. When I was trying to get clean, my mom was like, "You need to go to therapy." Yeah. Like, she's not even like, "You need to go to rehab." Right. She's like, "I think the reason you're doing this shit is deeper rooted than like you're just on drugs." You know what I'm saying? So like, once you're getting, I think I was even getting clean. It might have been in between of my relapses or whatever. I don't really remember, but I was able to use my like government aid insurance and like get a therapy session. Yeah. Only did one. Shit was tight. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I remember awesome. I remember being like, oh, that's fire. That's not like what I thought it was gonna be. I never went back and did it again, but again, I was kind of like in the midst of my addiction or somewhere around there. But now it's definitely something I'm exploring. I just got health insurance recently. Nice. So it's something that I'm fucking looking at and seeing what's up. I just went to the doctor today. I know it's not mental health, but just health. Check your mental health, all that.
Check your mental health, check your health,
check all that. So I went today.
I love that.
Got some blood work done, and again, just got the checkup. I haven't been at a doctor in fucking 10 years. You know what I mean? So.
Wow, that's a start though, and that's the whole thing. That's why I'm like, don't just check your mental health. You have to check your physical health. It all goes together, all in the
it's one in another, one hand in hand type shit.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. But it's like, you know, in order to get to that part, you have to really, you know, focus and understand that, you know, I need to do this for me.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to come and do it for you. You know, don't wait till the last minute, because that's what a lot of culture does, is they wait until their last minute, until they're like dying or can't breathe or something's going on inside their bodies to get to the doctors. Is good, you know, routine checkups are amazing. You know, it's just check yourself, check your health, check yourself, check your mental health, you know, be the CEO of yourself and your own being, you know, your own existence. That's amazing. So are you getting outside support? You kind of
I'm not right now, but you know, it's funny, my fiance always be telling me, you know, and it's funny because she knows how to like disarm me, so she'll kind of tell me in like joking manners, but I think that there's like a lot of truth behind it, you know. Like she'll be like, you should go talk to somebody, you know, like it'd be good, you know. She kind of like says it lighthearted, but I think that like deep down she's like, hey dude, I think this shit would be dope. So it's something I'll be checking out. I'll keep you updated, you know what I'm saying. I'll let you know.
I'm with her. Remind me her name.
Sophia.
So I'm with Sophia 100%. You know, Sophia is onto something, and you know, it just helps all around with your all around being. I mean, I know you got a lot on your shoulders with the business owner and life, you know, going on. So it's just another outlet for you to be able to go and just be yourself, non-judgmental, and just let shit out. You know? Let it out.
We had a really funny conversation last night. It was me, my lady, Zay, which is one of my friends, and his lady, and we were at the house and we were talking, and even Soph had brought it up how she had been to therapy in the past or whatever, and they were laughing and they were like, Soph, out of all of us, you're probably like the most like level-headed person. You're probably the person who needs it the least.
Right. And
then it opened up this crazy conversation, but then I was like, but isn't that funny? Isn't that kind of how it always goes? Like the people who probably quote unquote don't need it do it, and that's what kind of keeps them from not like needing it though. Like that's what keeps them level is them going, you know what I mean? And then it's like the people that like don't go, you know what I mean? They're the people who probably like need it. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's very interesting because he said that, and when he said that I was like, you know, you're right, but it also makes sense that even though she's the person that would like need it the least, that she's also the person that's like proactive in it.
Right. It's an amazing tool. They just give you more tools in your tool belt just to cope and manage everyday stressors.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yep. You know, you're having a discussion and you're showing up for yourself and building a better roadmap for yourself in life, you know, how to manage fucked up situations. Yeah. You know, so it's good. It's good. I hope you do. I hope you do.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So, what are some coping skills that you use to get through the day?
Man, so I will tell you what I leaned on for a lot of years and still probably lean on more than I should is weed, right? So that's just the brutal, honest truth of
there's nothing wrong with
when it comes to, you know, because where my head went when you asked that question, I just thought, okay, what do I do when I'm really stressed out? That's the first thing I thought, right? And I was like, oh, well, the first thing I would do is probably like, oh, man, I want to smoke. But I've been trying to be better about that, right? Yeah. So those are like those triggers. Like, you know, people hate to say they're addicted to weed and shit like that, but like that be one of those things. Like to me, that sounds like a trigger in an addiction. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like I've been to NA. I kind of know the kind of the outlines of it. And it's like, oh, yeah, like when I get stressed out or I want to cope or I need to cope, like that's usually one of the things. But outside of that, outside of substance, talking to my lady, my mom, those are two people. And mom is kind of a special situation because it's kind of got to be like it's got to be the right situation, you know what I mean, for certain things. But when it came to like me getting clean off drugs, my mom was like one of the people that I was talking to weekly, you know. But she had been through that struggle, you know. Like I would still talk to my dad and check in, but my dad never had that experience and shit. So I think that's my biggest way I go is I think I seek kind of those conversations in the family and friends and shit around me. Whether or not that's like the healthiest way to fucking go about that shit is kind of, you know, up for discussion.
It's a great way. As long as you can trust them with your information that you're giving them, that's just like a therapist, a non-judgmental person. Right. That's a great coping skill is to have those type of people that you trust to go to.
Hell yeah. Yep. Yeah. But I'm trying to get better because I know definitely one of the things I do is I just don't cope with things and I'll just like internalize it and then it'll fucking blow up at some point. So that's a thing that I'm trying to work through for sure. But that's been like a thing my whole life. When I was younger, I used to think it was like a temper issue, but then I'm like, oh no, it's not a temper issue. It's me like not dealing with shit when it happens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I'm not like a hothead. I'm actually quite the opposite, but I'll like drive myself to that. Yeah, I'll drive myself to it, you know? And I think there's preventative shit. Like there's shit you could do to like not do that. But easier said than done though.
It takes time. It takes practice. you know, because I was a hothead,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Hell yeah.
and
Yeah.
it just takes a lot of time, and once you start showing up for yourself like you are, it seems like you've been doing really good at that. You know, you got blood drawn today. That's amazing.
Crazy. I hate needles.
It takes time. It takes time.
Yeah,
You're on the right track.
Yeah.
So do you believe in having a creative outlet is important to managing mental health, and why?
Oh yeah, that's actually crazy that I didn't say that. If you go listen to my music, I bleed in it. I bleed in my music. So that's probably one of the, you know, probably even shit before weed. Like, you know, I've got songs that I haven't released that will never see the light of day that are literally journal entries. You know what I'm saying? That are too personal. People are like, no, be vulnerable. And I'm like, no, I'm using people's like names. I'm using locations, and it's about like, you know, that was strictly for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've the music, yeah, absolutely. Not even just myself. If there's something that you can do creatively, fuck, even if it's not creative, any sort of outlet. You know what I mean? If you're fucking whatever it is that works for you, you know, I think that's an amazing way to go about it, and I think it's cool because it doesn't require necessarily that second individual, which I think a lot of the other coping mechanisms would, whether it's like, you know, me talking to my homies or me talking to my lady or me talking to making music or something that even if I'm in a black hole by myself at the house and I'm feeling terrible, I mean, I could put a beat on and fucking write some music. And so yeah, hell yeah is the answer to that one. Okay. Hard yes for that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that?
I think it was kind of what I said. I think the biggest thing is just because it's something that you can do on your own, you know, and probably not, again, something that you should like only lean on. That would probably not be good, you know, but as like a supplemental thing to also be able to throw in with everything else, like, oh yeah, I also, you know, can go here and spend 3 hours and really just put myself out there and be as vulnerable as I want, and shit, if you want, put it out, you know, and see if people resonate with it and like it, and you know, that's a whole nother side of it. So hell yeah, if you've got a creative outlet, you should do it. I fuck with it, and I think it's a super cool way to do any sort of like self work. You know,
no, for sure, definitely. So, what can you tell our listeners to encourage them to check on themselves and check on their mental health?
I think that it's a lot easier to not check yourself and to just kind of keep going. I had a moment at the doctor's today when I was in the actual office, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna send you down to go do your lab work. You know what I mean? To go do your shit. I'm like, all right, for sure. As I'm walking out, I'm like, I kind of just want to go get some food. Like, I kind of just want to leave. You know what I mean? And I was like, so now I got to go pay the copay, get the blood drawn, do all that shit. I was kind of just like, nah. And as I'm walking out, I'm like, nah, I should do it. And you know what's funny is something that you just said earlier, and it was on your story too, when you're like, well, nobody's going to do it for you. Right. And so I'm literally, as I'm walking, I'm like, what am I going to do? Leave and go get food and then have to come get my blood drawn tomorrow? Or am I just not going to do it? And then when I get sick in 3 years, be mad that I didn't check. You know what I'm saying? So all that shit. So I guess the biggest thing is just be proactive in it. You know, I think it's really easy to let it just slip and to not even look at it. But it's shitty to find yourself in those moments where you're fucking breaking down and fucking, you know, you get your fucking full tears and you're fucking, you know, you're hot and you're feverish or whatever the fuck, however it is that people go through that shit. But I'll really go through like physical, like issues will happen. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the type of person, like when I get super anxiety, like I throw up. You know what I'm saying? So I've learned how to, like, as soon as I start getting anxious, like learn how to fucking try to navigate it. Yeah, because I will get to a point to where if I feel that pit in my stomach, like people will be like, oh, I feel a pit in my stomach. Like, no, like I proposed to my girlfriend, and then right after she said yes, I like went to the bathroom and just started yakking. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't, and it's not like I felt sick. It's like literally like a reaction. Like my body is like, something's not right. You know what I mean? Get it out. So yeah, I think I just think being proactive in how you deal with those things and going and see a doctor, like you said, it's good to get those checkups and talking to your friends and go to the therapist and whatever resources you can do. Fuck the what are they called? Like the things around, like fuck the stigmas, like fuck all that shit. Like yeah, like I think it's at this point in time, it's very real. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. I think it's something that.
Put in the work though. It's not easy. I'm telling you, it's not easy because a little over a year ago, I was in a whole different place, and I just had to keep showing up for myself. You know, it's difficult to really, you know, nurse yourself back to health. Yeah. It takes a fucking lot of work, and there's a lot of discouragement. Like I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Like. I had to get up. I had to pull myself out of it. It's very hard. I have to still pull myself out of bed, you know, just to get to the gym. And I'm just like, why am I doing this? You know, and then if I don't, I'm going to regret it. Yeah. Then I'm going to regret it. Then I'm going to be back in that fucking pit, back in that dark place. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So it's just like you said with the blood. am I gonna do it next tomorrow? Am I gonna stay in line? It's just like I'm already here.
Yeah,
Fuck,
let me just
I might
do
as
it.
well
Let me just
right?
do it. Yeah, let me just fucking do it. Nobody's gonna do it for me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's why J did it. I'm just like J did it.
Yeah.
You know,
Come on.
Gotta do it.
That's
do it.
fire.
You
Jay
know?
did it. We gotta do it.
Right.
Come
you
on.
gotta do it. That's dope.
That's right.
That's dope.
Hell
I'm glad you are. So
Yeah.
let's switch gears now. You want to share a poem? You want to share a song? You want to share something you're working on?
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm gonna just pull this up right here.
Yeah, take your time.
This is something. It's not a rap. Shout out to you. This is something that I haven't really talked about super publicly, but it's not a big deal because I'm not no crazy ass A-list celebrity. I'm really just a, you know what I'm saying, community member, bro. But the new that's hilarious. The new music that I got coming out is like in a totally different like way, like the way that it sounds. It's not really rap based. It's almost more like indie folk kind of shit. It's like really guitar heavy.
Your shit is amazing though. It's very inspiring.
Hell yeah.
For me,
Thank
I just
you.
like it feel good.
Yeah,
like
hell
today I could pull up your music and just listen. It's hella nice outside.
I'm gonna send you this
just
new
feels
project.
Really good.
I'm gonna send you this new project. I think you're really gonna like it. But I'm gonna just try to spit something off of it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little bit singy. I don't know how it's gonna sound, but we just gonna run it and see what's going on.
Run it. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of all making music.
Hell yeah. I said, it's days I don't feel like doing shit. Wake up in the morning and I roll a spliff. All my friends hate my guts. They think I'm stuck up. I don't give no fucks, you stupid bitch.
Ooh.
I feel like perspective is a bitch, and life gonna let you hit. Now I'm high off my thoughts and emotionally unfit. Moving without cause. I wish you could assist. Yeah, I think I'm getting lost. I think I lost my grip. I put myself last. What a stupid bitch. How I spill my cup before I fill my cup. I could really show you what a doofus is. Think I'm tripping, yeah, I'm falling. Fuck that job, I'ma call in. But I can't call it quits until my family rich. They ain't see the vision, now they want a part of this. Type shit, you know what I'm saying? Little folk song, yeah.
Yes.
That's supposed to be like a feel good, like, you know, wake up, not do shit. And then that's the intro on the tape, and then it goes on and it gets a little more introspective and gets on some heavy life shit. But
that is amazing, though. It be like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, that's just your perspective on life and the way it is, but you're spitting real shit because I felt all the same shit you were just saying. I'm
Come on.
you know, with all that, some days I just don't feel like getting up and doing shit.
That's it.
Some days you don't have to.
Yeah.
You know, that's the great.
Sorry.
You have to give yourself grace, you know, in life because you still gotta hustle and hustle and hustle. But at the same time, you know, some days you gotta take time for yourself and not do shit, you know. And then don't worry about what all of your friends and everybody think about you. Fuck them. You know, fuck them.
Yep, fuck them.
know?
Respectfully.
Always. From
Always.
A distance.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's dope. So, do you have any upcoming events going on? What's going on? I know you guys got a lot going on here.
Yeah, heck yeah. We've got a Puff and Paint coming up in April.
Dope.
We've got a CSSB movie night coming up in April. We've got a new open mic coming out. There's not an official name on it right now. Right now, the working name on it is CSSB Presents The Open Mic.
Okay.
So it's just the open mic. It's going to be open genre.
Nice.
So it's going to be like anybody, anything, whatever you're feeling, acoustic, digital, rap, singing, poetry, comedy, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to get that rocking. I would love to be popping out and actually have some dates to actually tell you that I was going to do something as an artist, as Josh Jorin, actually going out and performing. I don't have anything slated right now. After this project comes out in April, I'm hoping I'll have some shit, you know what I'm saying? So, gonna definitely want to do like some shit. I'm definitely gonna do some shit at home. So I'll do something here at CSSB. Definitely been talking to Cheat Code and to a couple of guys about doing something out of house. So doing it in Sac or even going down to Elk Grove, doing some funny shit. So we're gonna figure out exactly what we want to do. But yeah, I definitely want to get on some performances. I'm definitely gonna see you at more Torch Club sessions. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I'm trying to pop out to
Flamingo House,
and
Shady
they've
Lady.
got Shady Lady, the Lo-Fi Nights, so all those. I'm trying to just get more active in that and just get back outside. I got a lot of music. It sounds very different. I'm trying to figure out. You already heard me kind of. I don't want to say struggling through that, but I don't know how to control my.
No, I love it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like my tone and shit because I really could. You've heard my old shit. Like I really be rapping like when it comes to hip hop shit. So doing this little tone change shit, I definitely gotta tuck it in, and I'm trying to fuck with it. So it's gonna be a fun year. Last year was. Figure it out, drop a hella music. I did that, proved to myself I can make music, proved to myself I'm serious. This year it's like, oh yeah, let's create a sound, let's fucking do some dope shit, you know what I'm saying, and really check it in. So Hell yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love the creative side. I love all that you're doing for the community. It's amazing. This space is like my home. It's home to me because this is where I first started with my poetry. Yeah. You know, coming to poetry, and I'm just like, and I tried the Freestyle Fridays, and I'm like, I might have something for that. I might have to pull up to that one of these days.
You know, they've been really cool. What we've been doing with Freestyle Fridays lately, and shout out to you for bringing up FF. Oops, my flashlight turned on. But what we've been doing is we just did a Mike and Melody's event. Shout out Dame La Soul. It's an R&B event. That event ran from 5 to 8. After the event ended, we did Freestyle Fridays as a free event from 8 to 10. Nice. So you could come to the event. For the R&B event, it was $15 if you wanted to watch the R&B artists. After that event wrapped up, we kind of like just fell into this networking event, and there was just like a few artists. There was also a lot of eating and smoking and chilling and talking going on, but then there was like a handful of artists in the middle ciphering. Nice. So it's become very like relaxed now. It's not so much a room full of 40 people and fucking it's just like going crazy with
that. That was ham though. Yeah, it was a good experience.
We're probably gonna bring it back. Probably gonna bring it back and do it and still do it. Like definitely not gonna only do the kind of passenger ride along FFs, but it was cool to see it because it was we basically ran a 5-hour event. Again, shout out Dame because it was at 3 hours R&B and then 2 hours of hip hop. It was like a 5-hour community mingling event without like labeling it that though. And sometimes when you label things networking events and mixers and shit like that, it kind of scares people away. Yeah. But we're like, no, we just have 2 events back to back. You know what I mean? One's paid, one's free, and it was tight. But yeah, hell yeah.
I'd like to get back over here and start doing some more things over here. You know, other than the podcast.
Yeah.
I've just been.
I'll let you know when the open mic. Open mic should be, I think, April 15th, so I'll let you know.
Yeah, there's a lot of things coming up. Thank you. I appreciate you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah. You want to tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, hell yeah. So my name's Josh Jorin. You can go to joshjorin.com, joshjorin.com. That's me on Instagram. If you want to actually look me up on like Spotify, Apple Music, all that, it's just my last name, Jorin, Jorin. I was actually telling Jay before the show, though, that I may be switching over this year and just going by Josh Jorin. Just because everybody calls me Josh already, so you know, that's it. That's it. Josh Jorin on Instagram. Whole lot of team shit. I appreciate Thursday Therapies. I appreciate J.DIDIT. You know what I'm saying? Get it done. All that.
Absolutely.
Tight.
Thank you, and congratulations on your engagement.
Yeah, thank you. You know what I'm saying?
No,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I already wear the ring. People be like, "Wait, are you married?" And I'm like, "No." I have a very funny perspective on this. I'm like, I proposed to my girl and she got to wear the ring. How come I gotta wait?
Right.
So,
no, that's
I'll be rocking my ring.
Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
That's amazing. Okay, well, check yourself, check your mental health. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Yes.